Bryce Underwood legitimately might have the biggest season for a quarterback in Michigan history next year. The expectations this guy had heading to Ann Arbor as a true freshman, being the #1 recruit in the country, the biggest offensive recruit in school history, and signing a $12.5 million NIL deal without even playing a college snap. And I expect that number to be even higher based on the market and how he played in 2025. 9-4 in his first year as a starter, only 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but the stats don't tell the story of how he really played. Big offseason for him. Sharon Moore, national scandal. His head coach gets fired, but they bring in experienced former head coach of the Utah Utes, Kyle Whittingham. He's mature, he has a history of winning football games, and he brings his offensive coordinator in Jason Beck, who's known for developing quarterbacks. Bryce Underwood in 2025 wasn't necessarily the featured player. They hand the ball off a lot, kind of put him in handcuffs, didn't allow him to play to his strengths. But that jump from year 1 to year 2 is the biggest for any quarterback in their career, and I expect him to make that big step in 2026. He has all the tools. He's 6'4", 230. Looks like Cam Newton in the pocket. Full season of starting under his belt, another season in the weight room with his teammates. But to show this on tape as a true freshman is so encouraging moving forward in 2026. Washington is playing cover 1, man-to-man coverage across the board with a single high safety. Now, he understands the play, understands his concept, the personnel. This tight end is going to have a banana route where he's diving in and then bananaing back to the sideline. What should be a post on the outside turns into a dig, what I feel like is probably a busted assignment because the spacing's so off. And then a swirl, which is a corner stop back to the quarterback, chip by the tight end, leak down the middle of the field. Now, he sees it happening, has a little bit of penetration up front. He's throwing this football. This tight end's not even out of his break into the banana route. The ball's out, tight window throw on a rope for a big first down. This is such a big time throw. Watch how it works out up front. Offensive line is responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chip right here. The back's on 23. But when they run all of this stunning up front right here, that's hard. There's going to be some leakage. He's throwing it off his back foot, sidearm, ton of pace and energy, perfectly on time, big time throw. And then the timing that he's throwing with, this is the first game of the season. He shouldn't be throwing with this anticipation, but he's one hitch holding this robber player in the middle of the field. They're playing a version of cover 2. These guys are in the flats, but there's this robber player playing off the quarterback's eyes. He takes his eyes straight down the middle of the field, throws this dig in cut right out of the guy's break, in stride, letting him catch and run. Playing with this type of anticipation and timing. Watch his eyes, looking right at this robber player, holding him in the middle of the field. One hitch, ball's out, not waiting for him to be open, throwing him open out of his break, catch and run up the middle of the field. And then on the road in Norman, using this shift to bring everybody in. They're in their empty check. They're changing the front, changing the protection. Now you see a 5-man front. And this is a naked. A naked is where he's going to fake it to the back and then naked boot out. What you're taught as a quarterback is this end man on the line of scrimmage, you have to flip your eyes around because if he rushes up the field like he does right here, the ball has to be out. Flips his eyes around, throws it sidearm retreating, lets his guy catch and run for an explosive and a first down. You watch it from the end zone shot, brings them all in. The linebackers communicating, changing the front. They're now in this 5-man front. Quarterback has to be aware of the end running straight up the field rather than down the line of scrimmage. He's up the field, not down. Get his eyes around, see his head whip around really quickly. He sees him, retreats in his drop, throws it sidearm. Really good stuff. He can throw off platform, on rhythm, whatever it may be. Later in the game, going through his progressions, not afraid to throw the football down the field. Quick play action, looking to this corner route, this out first. And then he's got a version of what could be double post, or this is a cross route and turns into an adjustment by the receiver, feeling like he can outrun this middle field player. He goes 1, eyes away over here. 2, taking it back across the middle of the field, lets the ball go, rips it down the field on the road in Norman. All right, y'all, quick favor. If you're enjoying the video, like and subscribe below. I'm breaking down the top transfer and returning quarterbacks in college football this season, growing the channel so I can pour into making more of these videos. Appreciate you being here and following along, so enjoy the rest of the video. This is the part as a freshman where you have to grow. You have to see coverages, different coverages experience different things in the change from pre-snap to post-snap. Now for him, it looks like it's cover one, man-to-man coverage pre-snap, where it's a single high safety. But at the snap, they change the coverage. He thinks it's man, so he wants to throw this slot fade to a receiver. What turns into a single high zone based on the bail coverage. So he's taking his eyes down the middle of the field to hold the safety. He doesn't see this corner, and he throws what should be an interception, a pass breakup. You have to be able to confirm coverages pre-snap to post-snap. Now, at USC, another freshman moment, the change from pre-snap to post-snap. Bringing the back in, so he should know no one's running with him. It's probably a version of zone coverage, but if all these guys walked up at the line of scrimmage, it looks like they're playing man coverage out here, cover zero with no safety help. At the snap, the coverage changes. Have to be able to see it. They turn it into a cover two look, deep half, middle runner. This corner in the flat is playing hard in the flat. Have to be able to see it. He throws a go route to his receiver, directly to the safety, turns it into an interception. But he makes the adjustment. This is later in the season against Ohio State. This is the big game for them. Changing coverages pre-snap to post-snap. What looks like pre-snap is all of these defensive backs in one line. Everyone walked up at the line of scrimmage in a five-man front. He's going to have to wait and see, but he sees these telltales. This safety is leaning down right here. This safety is leaning back, playing the middle of the field. So he feels that. He holds the safety in the middle of the field in coverage. It's a zone, rips a seam. This is the sweet spots in these single high zone coverages, rips a seam in a tight window. For him to adjust from confirming pre-snap to post-snap as the season progresses, encouraging signs, expect more of it in 2026, him seeing this stuff. Need to see more of this in 2026. This is the Michigan way. 3 tight ends, 13 personnel, finding ways to get this playmaker the ball. That's the way to do it. Motion the tight end over, puts this defensive end in a bind. He doesn't know if he's getting blocked or he needs to tackle the quarterback. Underwood gives him a little shake. You have a wall to the front pylon. It's really cool to see. Jason Beck will do this in that offense, and you watch it from the end zone shot. It's such a cool way. Down block, double team up to this Mike backer, the offensive line. Receiver cracking down on the will. Tight ends pulling around to build this wall. One block here, the next block right there, and you have this big wall for him to score a touchdown. That's creative ways to get Bryce Underwood the football. Utah did it with Devin Dampier all season long. Motion over, wrap this guard around, down block, kick out the end. He's off to the races. Now he gets caught. I don't think Bryce Underwood will get caught, but it's creative ways of doing it. You watch it from the end zone shot. This motion brings all of these second-level defenders over the top. You pull this guard with a down block with the tight end and the offensive line to kick out this DN, and then a tight run in the seam from the quarterback. You're going to be able to do that all year with Bryce Underwood. He's got the speed to break away. He's got the size to break arm tackles, and he's done it before. Another creative way. This is quarterback draw with the option to throw it. So it's a run-pass option. They motion the back. He can either throw a screen on the edge, but based on what this Mike backer does, he's running with it. So now it turns into a light box. There's 4 defensive linemen for 5 offensive linemen across the board. That's favorable. So he's going to run QB draw all day long. But you see the speed for him to finish in the end zone. He's running away from guys. He has long legs. And it's more creativity that you can build into your offense. So this is the same way that they ran this quarterback power earlier. Act like he's running up to the line of scrimmage. Then you have a receiver run right down the seam to the opposite numbers. Ball over the top, turns into an explosive play. You can open up so many different things in the offense with the quarterback run game. And then applying concept in the Utah offense to concepts that Bryce Underwood has already done at Michigan. Play action pass, tight end up the middle of the field to drain it out. You have an in cut by this outside receiver, and then a wheel down the sideline. And for him to have the strength from the left hash to throw this ball back shoulder with pace and energy, that's a really good throw. And Jason Beck is going to do what Bryce Underwood does really well and apply it directly to an offense that he already has. Tight end up the middle of the field, in cut, wheel / rail down the sideline. Dampier's done it. Excited to see Bryce Underwood in this offense. I think they're going to unlock his potential, not put him in handcuffs anymore, allow him to be the featured player. And like I said earlier, I legitimately believe that he could have the biggest season in Michigan history. He's the most talented guy they've ever had. And the Big Ten with Kyle Whittingham, with this offense from Jason Beck, should be on watch with the Michigan offense.